Ooh, call me Ric Flair, boy, because I got the belt and I'm the heavyweight champ. Let me tell you something right now, okay, mister? It's ready to take. Mr. 15 and 0 himself. Yes, I won my fantasy football league, and it's the Nation Fantasy Football League. It's not any fantasy football league. It is the Nation Fantasy Football League where all the content creators, where the Raider content creators get together and they compete against each other in a fantasy football league. Now, we got some OGs in there like Graphic, Samoan, Mikey Raider, Raiders fan, Radio. We got plenty of people. Wasted was out there with us, man. It was getting crazy. Kenny the King was out there. Raider Cody was out there. And they still couldn't stop the kid. And we had to come out there and hold up the championship belt, baby. So, without further ado, let's get into this video. You know I had to show out just a little bit, man. We're here to talk about Derek Carr, David Carr, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, all the quarterback debacle that's going on around this team. And just recently, today, I'm seeing people drop all these videos. I see people talking about David Carr coming out, talking about the Raiders. And this donkey need to shut the hell up at the end of the day. I'm tired of hearing this dude come out and talk about the Raiders. He was on NFL.com feeling like he needed to speak on the subject and then say, look, TV isn't enough time. So he goes on Harvester Sports and he wants to talk about it. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I just watched a couple of the clips. And at the end of the day, he's hinting at some things. He's trying to imply some things. Oh, the Raiders couldn't trade me. Oh, the Raiders aren't going to trade this person. Man, just shut the hell up. Because at the end of the day, you're irrelevant, brother. You're not even in the league. Okay? And then it's the fact that you want to come out and talk more than the man himself, more than Derek Carr himself. This dude is talking more than his brother. And it's just kind of sad to see. And it's kind of cringy at the same time. Like, I get you want to defend your bro, but at the same time, it's making y'all look bad when you could have handled this in a little bit differently. Now, I'm not saying that the Raiders handled this perfectly, but at the same time, bro, David Carr, shut the hell up. Now, moving on from all that topic, because I don't even care about that. What I wanted to talk about was the quarterback situation. We hear about Tom Brady supposedly buying a house in Vegas. You hear about the fact that he's already working and training on his body in Vegas. That's got to tell you something. Because I remember last year, we had a whole scuffle about Devontae Adams buying a house in Vegas. People saying it was fake. People saying it was real. And it ended up being real. Ended up being smoke. Ended up being fire. Ended up being true. Now, what does that mean about Tom Brady? Does that mean Tom Brady is going to be the next one to be in that similar boat and he's going to be here in Vegas? I would put my chips on that. If I had to choose and I was a betting man, I would bet on Brady being the next Raiders quarterback. Now, does that mean that the Raiders are out of competition when it comes to a quarterback in this draft? And I would say no, we are far from that. But one thing I would say is we are far from also is Lamar Jackson. I see people, some Raider fans saying, hey, Lamar Jackson, he's out there. We got to get him. You know, he could be a Raider. Not a chance. Not a damn chance. I haven't heard. I haven't seen. I don't even know what could make you think Lamar Jackson would be a Raider. So we can't even talk about that because it's not even anything within this atmosphere. I would have to really tell y'all right now that TB seems like he's going to be the guy. Now, I think it comes down to the trade value for Derek Carr, if I can make this camera focus. It comes down to Derek Carr's trade value. And like I said at the beginning, if David Carr is really speaking on any type of truth, then I don't think we're going to be able to find a trade partner. And that's kind of what it's looking like at some point. You talk about the Jets, the Saints. You could say even Tampa. You could say other teams like Carolina. Who would really want to force themselves to give up draft picks and also pay a premium for Derek Carr? From a financial aspect, from a capital aspect, from a football team, you're going to give up too much for Derek Carr. And he's not going to be the type of guy that's going to put you over that hump. And I think a lot of teams may be starting to realize that. You hear about the Colts. They said they're out of it. They don't want anything to do with Derek Carr. That right there was somewhat of a shocker, but at the same time, the Colts don't know what the hell they're doing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made some dumbass move. But at the same time, they could go out there and try to draft a quarterback. And speaking of drafting a quarterback, could we, the Raiders, draft a quarterback? Because just today, I see that Anthony Richardson is someone that the Raiders are looking at. And he could be later in the first round. Definitely could be someone late in the first round that could be drafted. You talk about a guy like Jalen Hurts that was drafted in the second round. Could we potentially see Anthony Richardson slip to the second round and we could pick him up there? Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we used our first to go ahead and pick up whoever we wanted to pick up, but then trade up if Anthony Richardson ends up falling later in the first round and we feel like someone else is going to end up snatching him up. Remind you that Dave Ziegler isn't afraid to trade in the draft. So I want that to be something on your guys' mind to think about. You talk about Christian Barmore, you talk about Mac Jones. He was moving some pieces in order to get some players in the draft. And they weren't just any players. They were players that were actually out there with big names that were supposedly supposed to be the guy to be able to help change a losing football team to make them a winning football team, get a team over the hump. Now, if we go out there and we get ourselves a quarterback, if we go out there and get ourselves a Christian Barmore, a defensive tackle, it would just open the doors for this football team to be successful. But most importantly, what I want to know is what you guys think about the whole situation with David Carr, Derek Carr. Will we get draft capital? And do you think we'll ultimately draft a quarterback no matter what? Do you think we draft a quarterback no matter what? Because even if we get Tom Brady, that's not a long-term solution. That may be a short-term solution, maybe 2 years at the most. It could only be 1 year, but at the same time, it could be 2 to 3 years, and then you have a quarterback sit behind him. I don't know what's going to happen because right now the season just barely ended. I know a lot of skepticism is out there, but I just want to put it out on the table for you guys. You guys let me know what you guys think. Also, don't forget to check out Redemption Brand. We reloaded and restocked on some hats, so y'all got to go make sure to check that out. Make sure to check out the hoodie game, man. It's going crazy. Forget to mention the fact that I went 15-0. I just had to say that real quick. I just had to say it again. 15-0. You feel me? Fantasy Football League champion of the nation. Yes, sir. This thing's so heavy, man. My back's starting to hurt. You feel me? For having to carry this. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Until next time, ready to take.